All right, now we're recording. Okay, so Ashley and Megan are our speakers tonight. They are our newest diamond coaches on Team Steel Magnolias, and we are blessed to have them speak about how they got to their new diamond rank and some tips and tricks that helped them along the way that they put into practice that made them have this recent success. And I wanted to share it with the team because I know all of us are trying to build our own teams. And for Ashley and Megan to do this recently and kind of first, the first few coaches to become Diamond, I want them to share it with all of you, and y'all can watch this recording and share it with your own teams. So thank y'all, Ashley and Megan. Y'all are both rock stars, and I'm so proud of you, and I am pumped to have you do this team call. I can't wait to hear. So I will open the floor to y'all. Y'all get started. Run with it however you want. I know you're way probably more organized than I am on team calls, so I'm excited to hear you. All right, y'all go ahead.
Yay! Am I going to go first, Ash?
Yay!
I think so, if you want to start with kind of what we talked about.
So one of the first things that we kind of wanted to talk about was sort of how to build a team and how to recognize who would be a good fit on a team. And Ashley and I kind of debated, and we even debated this morning, back and forth about, discount coaches versus business building coaches. And we both definitely have a good crop of both. And so for me, one of my strategies with the discount coaches that I have kind of accidentally developed here in the last few weeks is getting really good at the hard sell of go ahead and sign up as a discount coach when you place your very first order. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that for a little bit. Well, Ashley and I both agree that we don't want teams full of nothing but discount coaches because you're not going to make any money that way. You definitely want them for buffers and fluff on each side. And I will talk about why fluff is important when you have an uh-oh moment in a little while. But one of the things that I have started doing is when I am talking to people about them placing an order and they seem to be interested in the program, but also interested in Shakeology, and they're asking a lot of questions about what flavors and what pack do I want to order, I go ahead and throw in there, so do you think that you might want to continue with Shakeology? Like, do you think this is something you might do for a few months? And a lot of them say yes. And I say, well, look, here's the deal. Here's what you want to do. Is you want to go ahead and sign up for the discount when you do it because your enrollment is going to be free. I don't always tell them that there's an option to get the refund later, which is not really a lie. I just don't offer that extra piece of information. I just tell them that the enrollment is free. And if you think that this is something that you're going to continue with, even just for a couple of months, this is a no-brainer because you get it so much cheaper, and you're getting it cheaper with the challenge pack, and now you're going to get it cheaper the second time around. You're never paying full price for it. And I've had a lot of success with people jumping on board with that. That was how I made Seth, my husband, so that's how I made him Emerald. I put 2 people up underneath him that way, and that was how I got, I think, my very last one that I needed to make me Diamond on one side. I was able to sell that way. I've also been able to put about 2 extra buffer people on one side that way. The struggle with that is that those people are probably realistically going to be short-lived. They may not continue with Shakeology forever, which means they're probably going to drop out, which is why it's important to also then identify your business building people. So with the business building people, Ashley and I, have been running our groups together this summer. The last 2 we have run together, and that's been really good because she and I have really started looking at each other's challengers in a different way and then talking to each other about them. And I have a fresh set of eyes on her people, and she's got a fresh set of eyes on mine, seeing things that we didn't necessarily see in them before. And so with noticing different characteristics of those people, we've sort of, I hate to use the word grooming because that sounds a little sleazy and sneaky, but we definitely do like extra encouraging with those people. And those are usually the people that are participating a ton anyway. And so they give you a reason to give them a lot of recognition anyway. And so with those people, we definitely, handle them, I guess, with a little bit more enthusiasm, so that they will be drawn in and be like, I kind of get why you do this coaching thing. In fact, Ashley and I had a girl here, one of my girls lately, that was able to help somebody in her personal life who's going to be doing the program, but in a different challenge group. And she even talked about it in our group and said, I totally get why y'all coach now. Like, I totally get it. That was so rewarding. And I was like, just sign up to be a coach, because she hasn't done it yet. So part of it is really identifying who you think is going to be a good fit. And some of those people, you might even want to sign up as a discount coach and pitch it to them that way. Look, sign up as a discount coach for a little while. Pay attention to the group in a different way. Think about, while you're in the group, how you might want to coach and how you would handle things if this were your group, and just let the wheels turn. And then in a couple of months, maybe you and I co-coach a group together, or maybe you just sign up a few people and put them in my group and you just help me a little extra and not be a full-time, co-coach. Like, to pitch it to them in a very like slow to get your feet wet kind of way. And Ashley and I both have had a lot of success with that, because we have several people that have signed on as discount coaches but are sitting in the wings. And my guess is that within the next 2 to 3 months, those people are going to be pretty active business building coaches. They just kind of need some confidence and to get through another round or two. And I think to look at that group with a different set of eyes to see how they would handle it themselves. So that is part of identifying people. The other, part of it that Beachbody encourages, and all of us on our team have really done this, it's how most of us get to Emerald, is, signing up family members. I think all of us probably have our husband signed up on one leg. Most of us probably have our mom signed up on another leg. I have my sister on one leg. My entire right side is comprised of my husband, my mom, and my sister, and one of my sister's friends. So if any of them drop out, I'm defriending them as a family member, but I'm also screwed. So that's another, big part of the puzzle piece of looking at Diamond. I know Ashley posted that graphic earlier of how your legs need to look. And so it really is like a jigsaw puzzle. And so you have to be very strategic of where you want to put people and how consistent they're going to be, so that they don't go inactive and you don't drop rank. And I've gone almost inactive for the last 3 months because I've had somebody that went inactive under me and it was going to mess me up or drop my rank. And so that's where those buffer, like fluff people come in handy. That's where your discount people are great. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Ashley, because part of it is that even though those are some good strategies, it doesn't always come to fruition as quickly as we would like for it to. And so that's been something that Ashley has had to deal with.
Yeah. So the thing I kind of wanted to touch on, and I'm going to go back to a couple things Meghan said too, but I wanted to talk a little bit about persistence and patience when it comes to rank advancement, because I'm an instant gratification person. Like, I have a goal, and if I work really, really hard, I want that goal to happen, but I want it to happen like yesterday, not 6 months from now. And so I have a really hard time with this business sometimes, because you really do put in so much work on the front end, and it may be a while until you see those results on the back end. Mm-hmm. And that can be really frustrating. And so, when I sat down and looked at where I was, and what I need to do to get to Diamond, I was really, really overwhelmed. So if you're feeling that way, know that it is not something that is unique to just you. Everybody feels that way. When I first set my sights on becoming Diamond and rank advancing, I think I had 2 coaches, maybe 3 under me, one of which was my husband. And for us, it made sense for him to sign up because we were both drinking Shakeology, so we might as well get him signed up and get the discount for him as well as me, since we were both consuming it. And it made sense from a business standpoint, because even if I could just break even every month, it was a success for me. The goal, of course, is to make more money than just breaking even, but that was enough to make it, a feasible choice for us. So I started with him, and I don't even remember, I think Lisa was probably my first coach, and then I had a couple people who signed up to be discount coaches, but they have been rock solid discount coaches, and so they've been people who have been with me for an entire year at this point. May decide to lead groups in the future. I ask them every couple of months because I don't want to bother them, but they would be wonderful at it. And so that was kind of where the conversation started with them. But that's all I had. We're just a handful. And if you look at the graphic, you need 4 on each side, and 1 of each of those coaches on each side has to be Emerald, which means they have 2 people under them. So technically you've got 10 people in total under you. And so it can be super overwhelming to figure out, okay, how am I going to identify these 10 people? How is this all going to work? And so for me, it was really taking a look at my challenge groups. And I had a little bit of a break in there too, because I didn't do a lot with my business during my pregnancy until the very end of it. And that's when I really, for whatever reason, lit a fire and decided that I wasn't just going to sit around and make excuses for myself. And so I took a little time off there in the middle, though. I distinctly remember a conversation Angela and I had at a coffee shop here in Oxford where she literally thought I was going to come in and say that I couldn't do it anymore and I was done. But really I was coming in to talk to her about what I needed to do to make it happen. And so that was kind of the turning point for me, was really just deciding for myself that that's what I wanted and then figuring out how to make it work. And so at that point, after I'd taken that little break, I really looked at my challenge groups and figured out, okay, who do I have that's either already getting Shakeology HD and has been on it for a while, that needs the discount because they're already getting it, so they might as well continue to get it and not pay as much for it because they've already lost money in the process. So I identified some of those people. And then I really looked at the people I had and intentionally built a team. So all of my business builders are people that I want on my team, essentially. So they have characteristics or attributes or whatever it may be that either mesh well with my personality or hit a target market that maybe I'm not hitting. I know they would flourish in. Maybe their goals are different than mine, and so it gives some diversity to the team. Things like that. So it's really looking at the challengers that you have and not ever counting anybody out. So that's something that I really want to stress, is don't make the decision for them before you've approached them. So don't look at somebody and say, oh, I know that person. I know they're not going to want to do this. I'm not even going to ask. Ask them anyway, because you never know who's going to end up saying yes and when they'll say yes. So making sure you're checking in periodically and making sure that you're giving yourself that time and you're being persistent with it, because that's going to be, gets you to that next level. Is, they may tell you no on, in August, but then they come back around a couple months later and they say, I've been thinking about it. I've really enjoyed these groups. I think I could really do something with this. And they may say yes later. So getting out of the mindset of the instant gratification is super important. And I had to really work at getting out of that myself, because I wanted to see those results immediately. And I knew that I wasn't going to. Now, Megan and I both had some hustle, though, toward the end, because we had both set goals for ourselves to be Diamond by Summit. And we just became Diamond in our on the cutoff day or something, maybe. So, we barely made it. And it took some hustle. And with some of the setbacks that we had and all that, there was one point in time where I logged in and looked at my mom's account and realized that she had signed up with a different email for her coach account than she did for a challenger account. So she was technically inactive. So I had to figure that out and make sure that I got her signed up appropriately so that it would all look right and everybody would be active on the day that I was supposed to go Diamond. So there are all those little things that you just don't think about. But, we hustled there toward the end. And I think now that we've hit this, we're still actively building our teams, but the pressure is off just a little bit in terms of trying to sign up as many people as we can as quickly as we can. So that's kind of nice, because now I really am focusing on the coaches that I have that want to build their businesses and helping them kind of get there, while also, looking for other people that would either be good business builders or might benefit from the discount as well. the term discount coach still kind of bothers me, and I know it bothers a lot of people when you approach them with it too. We've actually gone to more of a discount membership type terminology and explained it to people the same way you might explain like a Sam's Club membership with, you know, the buy-in fee, and then you're going to get charged $15 a month, but here's how it works out, and the numbers are all in your favor, that kind of thing. So if you're strictly looking to just add numbers, then that is definitely the way to do it the fastest. And that's kind of what Meghan explained is, you know, those discount people. There are so many people in the organization, though, that started as discount coaches that are now like way up in terms. I mean, like, I don't even know how many stars. Like they have so many diamonds underneath them that it's insane.
Yeah.
So one of the phrases that they use a lot of times is don't discount the discount coach. So just make sure that you're keeping that in mind and that you're always trying to, you know, get people signed up in whatever way you can in the beginning to get those numbers to get you that rank advancement, but to always be in contact with those people and make sure that you're asking them if they want to do more with it than just get the discount. Would kind of be my advice from that standpoint. But really just being patient and being persistent. One thing that I've seen this month, well, this past month in particular for me that's been really helpful is putting myself out there way more than I ever have before. And like comfort zones like way over there, and I've like gone the exact opposite direction, and it's been super scary, but it has also pushed my business to a level that it's never been at before. And so that's something else I want to encourage you to do. You know, you don't have to do it the same way. Like I'm documenting a whole transformation process because I just had a baby and that's what I want people to see. But there are other ways to kind of document whatever it is that's going on in your life and how Beachbody's helping you and how coaching is helping you. And I feel like that's how I've gotten some of the people I have is, you know, first they want to join my challenge group and then they have positive experiences and then they want to do it themselves. So that's kind of the progression. And I've had some people that it's been as quick as just a month turnaround that they've signed up to be a coach, and not just discount, but you know, they want to lead groups. And so hopefully we're going to have some launch posts happening soon from my team, from a whole handful of people that have either decided to go from discount to business building or are brand new. And so sometimes that happens fast. Angela will say it all the time. I mean, you can go from emerald to diamond overnight sometimes because it seems like it goes that fast depending on
and talk about sort of momentum with that. And I think a big piece of momentum that was a driving force for Ashley and I was doing Diamond Dash. And so not just Diamond Dash, but also like Push to Emerald, any of our, you know, push rank advancement groups. I definitely approached Diamond Dash much differently than I did the Push to Emerald group. With Push to Emerald, I kind of just did enough. I did my daily assignments, I posted them, whatever, because I wasn't really in the mindset of doing anything extra. It was just like, oh yeah, a little, you know, team cycle bonus here and there would be nice, but like I'm not focused on this right now. And that was fine for me. When I did Diamond Dash, I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to actually like do it the right way. And I'm not going to put myself out there in the way that these assignments are going to ask me to put myself out there and not do it the right way and have my name attached to it. So a lot of it for us was committing ourselves and the mindset. And really, Ashley and I were talking about this earlier today, that I am very much a person who I don't need for you to tell me what to do. Like I pretty much know what to do already, which is not true. But I think I do. And so, you know, with Diamond Dash, I had to kind of put some ego aside and really take suggestions and take leadership from other people and some criticism from other people and put it into practice. And shockingly, like there were other people that knew stuff more than me, and it actually worked. And so, you know, it was just making that choice in my mind to put my ego aside, but to also have a positive perception of what other people were telling me, the advice that they were giving me. And that was huge for us. And so I encourage all of you that if you're going to do Push to Emerald, Diamond Dash, whatever comes after Diamond Dash, any of those, we need another training group. Angela. We need another rank advancement group. So whatever it is that you're going to do, I encourage you, don't half-ass it. Like, do it and actually take the information and put it into practice instead of just observing the information. I think a lot of us have all been guilty of just sitting back and observing, whether it be in this, sorry, one of my clients has texted me that she's at home crying because her boyfriend was mean to her. I'm always on duty. Whether it be focusing on, engaging inside of our team page or Hangout or the push groups, the more you engage, the more you're going to get out of it. And I feel like it's the same as engaging in a challenge group. If you're going to participate and engage and put yourself out there, you're going to get better results. And the same works for the coaching business. So Diamond Dash, Push to Emerald, all of that other stuff is key. So really engage and take it to heart and commit to it and get in the right frame of mind. Kind of like what Ashley was saying, don't count out your people. Don't count yourself out. Give yourself some credit that you can do this. Because once we decided that this was something that we wanted and we put a deadline on the calendar, we made it happen. And it actually wasn't as hard as we thought it was going to be. We just had to commit ourselves and, follow through with a few things. And vent and cry a little bit. But it works.
Yeah. Freak out every now and then, but.
There were a few tears when I had my $600 return.
Yeah.
I had, but we were supposed to go diamond on Wednesday, and on Monday, the Monday before, I had somebody, Angela sends me this message. It says, did somebody return something? And I got online to look, and I had a person who returned several months worth of Shakeology and like credits back for on demand. It was a $633 credit back to her, which put me like negative 700 million points. And then I had to scramble to sell a couple of things. And then I had to talk to customer relations a whole bunch and like get it all straightened out. And I literally got it at the 11th hour straightened out. So there were a few tears, but it's the commitment and the hustle. I very easily could have just said, screw it, I'll go diamond next month, or I won't worry about it. And, I wasn't going to come that close to the finish line and not pull it out. So again, commitment, perseverance.
I think something too, and Angela, we have another idea for another team call that we would like to run if you want us to. But we did want to touch just for a second on success partners as well, because that is one thing that has helped us a lot, is that we've had each other pushing, and not even necessarily like pushing each other with intention, like just we're both competitive. And so we both wanted to go diamond at the same time. I think that helped push us, seeing one person have a little success pushes you to have success yourself and that kind of thing. So when you're doing, when you're interacting in Hangout, or when you're doing these Diamond Dash or the Emerald, Push to Emerald groups, start identifying people that are within our larger network that are like you or could be a success partner for you, because it's apparently very rare to have people in the same team that are success partners, and I can see why that could potentially be an issue with competition and other things, but for us, it just happened to work. But when you're looking at other people, I don't remember, what month did we do that group? February?
The Push to Diamond?
Yeah.
I want to say it was over spring break. I think it was March.
Okay.
Yes. March.
Yeah, it was. That's right. And so I don't know how many people from our group have hit diamond, but I know Maggie just did, and she was in that group with us. Mm-hmm. Jordan did, and us too. And I don't know if everybody else has yet or not.
Wasn't Sarah Durant?
She did.
Is she diamond?
Mm-hmm. She was probably the first one, I think. She was close when she started. So it's identifying some other people, though, that can help you get to that goal. So like I said before, it's not always going to be instantaneous, but finding some people that have similar goals as you and really trying to create those partnerships so that you can push each other, help each other through, and develop relationships with these people so that you feel comfortable saying, hey, I was going to post this. Do you think this is a good idea? Or do you have an idea for this? I need some help figuring out what to post today or whatever it may be.
Yeah, and I think that's key because we all have such different approaches that work for us. If you look at all of our Facebook pages, we all do very different things, even though there's threads of similarity. And I think just to find somebody that does things that feel similar to what you would do so that you can, I can't tell you how many times, that was how Ashley and I even became friends, was that I randomly called her one day, like very early on when we very first met, and said, hey, I have an idea. Like, by the way, this is Megan from our team. I've never talked to you before, but I have an idea to run by you. And she was like, okay. And so I saw that she and I had a lot of similarities in our approaches. And I was like, okay, she's going to shoot it to me straight and tell me if she thinks that this would work or not. So I'm going to ask her what she thinks about it. And so to find a person in your group just to bounce ideas off of, it doesn't mean you have to be BFF, but just somebody that's going to be honest, but that has a similar approach to you, so they're going to kind of get your vision. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely. This is about to cut off. So were y'all done with your points and things you wanted to say, or do we need to continue?
If people have questions, we can.
I know it's going to cut off. We might have, because it's going to cut off in a minute. So how about if y'all have questions, just post them in the comments underneath the playback. I'm gonna post the recording in our team page, and y'all can answer questions or ask questions. Ashley and Megan, thank y'all so much for talking about what you did. I think the bottom line that I hear is consistency and getting out of your comfort zone, and just having some organization and making it happen. Just depends on how bad you want to do it. And that consistency is what gets you to your goals, in my opinion. And I think that's what y'all did. So thank you so much. I'm so proud of both of you. And thanks for spending time with us to tell us tonight. Okay.
Thanks for listening to us ramble.
Thanks, y'all.
Ramble. You rock. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Have a good night.